President Trump tackled the virus head-on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
We'll get through this together. We'll live carefully, but not afraid.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
That's a fantastic ad, isn't it? And it's an accurate ad. And it's a beautifully done ad. And it challenges that narrative by the media and the Democrats that the President of the United States hasn't been on top of this virus, that he was slow out of the gate, that he doesn't listen to the science, and so forth and so on. You've heard all the propaganda.
Dr. Anthony Fauci is objecting to the Trump campaign using video of him in a Trump campaign ad. This weekend, Dr. Fauci issued a written statement saying, "In my nearly 5 decades of public service, I have never publicly endorsed, nor do I now endorse, any political candidates. The comments attributed to me without my permission in the GOP campaign ad were taken out of context." The Trump campaign edited the video in such a way that it appeared that Dr. Fauci was talking about Donald Trump.
Stop the hammering.
And so Fauci likes to be on TV all the time. All the time. So he's fair game. He's a public figure. He's out there. He's making comments that have a political impact. He's making comments that have an impact on industries, whether or not they should be open, whether they should be closed, and so forth. So he's gone way beyond his job description. So of course he should be able to be used in an ad because he's hanging himself out there as somewhat of a political figure, among other things.
Jesus Christ.
And he said, quote, "I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more." Dr. Fauci says that that was a statement he made months ago about the efforts of federal public health officials, not Donald Trump.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
It just fucking sucks. It fucking sucks to be out here with this out of control shit.
You're on camera saying, quote, "I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more." You quickly came out with a statement that noted that that sentence had been taken out of context. You were talking about the whole of government response, not...
Let's stop.
Fauci says that that was a statement he made months ago about the efforts of federal public health officials, not Donald Trump.
But the whole of government response, let me ask you folks something. What's the name of the administration? I think it's called the Trump administration. Who appointed the task force? I think President Trump. Who runs the task force? I think President Trump's vice president. Who consults with the president before they make major decisions that affect our culture and our society? They confront, and who do they consult? The President of the United States? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Go ahead.
And of course, you've never endorsed a presidential candidate in your 5 decades of public service.
Nobody said he did endorse anyone. But he can say things that are flattering about the president and what the president did during the virus. There's nothing wrong with that.
Fucking out of control shit.
Dr. Fauci says that that was a statement he made months ago about the efforts of federal public health officials, not Donald Trump.
What's the name of the administration? I think it's called the Trump administration. Who appointed the task force? I think President Trump.
The woman talking in my ear was talking about the Labor Day special.
Dr. Fauci first objected to the campaign ad, said this about the coronavirus.
It's going to disappear. It is disappearing.
That's Donald Trump on Saturday, and it is not disappearing.
And the vaccine is coming out very, very quickly in record time. As you know, it's coming out very, very soon. We have great companies doing it, and they'll be distributing it, and we will through our military very, very rapidly. Through the power of the American spirit, I think, more than anything else. Science, medicine will eradicate the China virus once and for all. We'll get rid of it all over the world. You see big flare-ups in Europe, big flare-ups in Canada, very big flare-up in Canada. You saw that today. A lot of flare-ups, but it's going to disappear. It is disappearing, and vaccines are going to help, and the therapeutics are going to help a lot.
Said this about the coronavirus.
It's going to disappear. It is disappearing. It's going to disappear. It is disappearing, and vaccines are going to help, and the therapeutics are going to help a lot.
This graphic shows that the states with the most coronavirus cases per capita since June are states that have voted Republican in at least the last 2 presidential elections. Today, Dr. Anthony Fauci said that the Trump campaign should take down that ad that includes his comment.
I think it's really unfortunate and really disappointing that they did that. It's so clear that I'm not a political person, and I have never either directly or indirectly endorsed a political candidate. And to take it completely out of context.
What you will see is it's not taken out of context. In fact, when you hear the relevant part of my interview with Fauci, because that's where it's taken from, you'll see that Fauci said even more. So taking that line out of the interview, while it's helpful to the president because he said it, the interview itself is much more helpful in context.
I thought was really very disappointing.
When Jake Tapper told Dr. Fauci that the Trump campaign might be creating another ad using Dr. Fauci warned the Trump campaign not to do it and said it could, quote, backfire on them, end quote, if they did use him in another campaign ad. Use of the word backfire indicates Dr. Fauci might be considering something much stronger than a written statement if the Trump campaign does it again.
Fucking out of control shit.
What would you say if I told you I heard that the Trump campaign was actually preparing to do another ad featuring you?
You know, that would be terrible. I mean, that would be outrageous if they do that. In fact, that might actually come back to backfire on them. I hope they don't do that, because that would be kind of playing a game that we don't want to play. So I hope they reconsider that. If, in fact, they are indeed considering doing that, I hope that they reconsider and not do that.
Dr. Fauci might be considering something much stronger than a written statement if the Trump campaign does it again.
Jesus Christ.
I hope that they reconsider and not do that.
Fauci is highly political. That's why he's on CNN. That's why he's saying what he's saying. He's trying to chill the discussion. The fact of the matter is he publicly, on TV, in my interview, praised the President of the United States and the administration and everybody working in the administration. In other words, when you go to the interview, you will see that he counters the narrative that's out there. Dr. Fauci, let me ask you a question. You've been doing this a long time. Have you ever seen this big of a coordinated response by an administration to such a threat, a health threat?
Well, we've never had a threat like this, and the coordinated response has been, there are a number of adjectives to describe it. Impressive, I think, is one of them. I mean, we're talking about all hands on deck. Is that I, as one of many people on a team, I'm not the only person, since the beginning that we even recognized what this was, I have been devoting almost full time on this, almost full time. I'm down at the White House virtually every day with the task force. I'm connected by phone throughout the day and into the night. When I say night, I'm talking 12, 1, 2 in the morning. I'm not the only one. There's a whole group of us that are doing that. It's every single day. So I can't imagine that under any circumstances that anybody could be doing more. I mean, obviously, we're fighting a formidable enemy, this virus. This virus is a serious issue here.
And so the Trump administration is trying to do that. Really what should be happening is newsrooms, news shows like this Tapper and the others, they should be running my interview, the relevant parts, with Dr. Fauci to show that what the Democrats and Biden are saying about the president and his administration are lies.
It just fucking sucks. It fucking sucks to be out here.
I am your voice.
Now, you may have noticed that I have not yet included Donald Trump in our coverage of the Republican presidential campaign this season, and that is because he is obviously never going to be president. He is obviously never going to be the Republican nominee for president, and he is obviously never going to be a candidate for president. What he is going to be is the host of a TV series in which former celebrities are mean to each other.